The cost of everything seems to be going up right now, but for Texas college students, there may be one expense that won't be a worry next year. Coming up, we'll let you know a recent announcement that could remove some pressure from your pocketbook.
The holiday spirit is starting to take over the hub city with lots of local venues offering options to enjoy some seasonal cheer. Find out how two recent events invited out the public to start their Christmas shopping a little early.
And the Texas Tech Athletics fall sports season is nearing an end, but one team has already extended their postseason run after a successful start in the NCAA tournament. MCTV's Allie Scott has a look back at Red Raiders soccer's most recent outing on campus, along with the rest of the scores and highlights from Tech Athletics and sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Madilyn Coyne.
And I'm JT Duchamp. One of the hottest issues during this month's election was the state of the U.S. economy. For many Americans, the rising cost of living was the #1 issue on their ballot.
Texas Tech students have also been paying more in their daily life, but luckily there is one expense that won't be changing soon. Last Wednesday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott sent a letter to the state's public colleges and universities, stating that he will not support tuition increases over the next 2 years. The letter was sent after Abbott said that he had spoken with members of the Board of Regents for each institution across Texas. According to Abbott, everyone he spoke to agreed with his position in light of the extra $700 million that was allocated to higher education in the last legislative session. University leaders, including here at Texas Tech, had already agreed to keep tuition rates the same throughout the end of the school year. But Abbott's announcement last week makes sure that tuition should also stay flat through 2026. According to the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, the average cost for in-state tuition at Texas public universities is currently over $10,200 per year.
Speaking of the current school year, the fall semester is quickly coming to a close. Thanksgiving is just over a week away, and that means that many people are starting to think ahead to the merriest time of the year. On Saturday, the Lubbock Scottish Rite Event Center was the location of a sip and shop with Santa. Doors opened at 11 a.m., and attendees were invited to come by and check out more than 50 local vendors selling Christmas-themed items, gifts, and much more. The event also featured drinks, food trucks, a bracelet-making station, and the big man himself. Santa was on site on Saturday accepting wish lists and posing for pictures throughout the event. This weekend's Sip and Shop wrapped up at 4 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, but organizer Jessica Garrett puts together similar events throughout the year. For more information on the next option on the Sip and Shop calendar, visit sipshopbyjessica.com.
Over the weekend, Christmas shopping was a theme across the hub city. There were several other options, including one that offered unique gifts for a cause. Several miles south down Indiana Avenue from campus, the Texas Tech University community could stop by another holiday-themed shopping experience. Aldersgate Church hosted their handmade holiday missions market on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The church's foyer and worship center were cleared out to make way for dozens of vendors to showcase their handmade creations. The market featured everything from clothing and accessories to crafts and tasty treats. Each of the participating vendors paid a fee for a booth at Saturday's event, and the proceeds will benefit the missions ministry at Aldersgate Church. Along with Aldersgate and the Sip and Shop with Santa, there were at least half a dozen markets and holiday shopping events taking place in and around Lubbock over the weekend. The weather on Saturday worked out great for any outdoor activities planned across the South Plains, but Sunday was a different story.
The weekend once again ended with rain, but even more changes could be headed our way this week. Chief Weather Specialist Elisabeth Herring joins us with a look at what's ahead in today's MCTV forecast. Elizabeth?
Yeah, so it was actually a pretty nice weekend. Saturday highs in the mid-70s, beautiful sunny skies. Sunday looking the opposite, cloudy skies, and we saw some rain beginning around 3 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday. Continued on pretty heavily throughout the evening. However, those storms did begin to move out of the area around 4 a.m., continue to move out as we head into the morning time, and there's still a few clouds out there, but it looks like by tomorrow those storms should be completely out of our area. Well, that rain did make quite a significant impact on our 24-hour rain rainfall totals. At least everyone in the South Plains seeing a ½ inch of rain. Here in Lubbock, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Some places seeing even more. Brownfield, 3 to 4 inches of rain in some areas. In Seminole, some areas seeing up to 5 inches of rain. So definitely a helpful storm system as we have seen a drier fall this year. And as far as our daily rain almanac goes, we are actually ahead for this month by almost 4 inches and ahead for this year by almost 4.5 inches. Yesterday's total of over an inch definitely made an impact on this. And as this looks pretty good right now, we are expecting a drier winter as we have seen a drier fall. So this could be the last major precipitation event as we head into November and the rest of December. Well, our next concern is going to be freezing weather. Obviously, we didn't see any freezing weather last night, which is a good thing since we had all that rain. And this long-range forecast is looking a little bit different than what we saw last week. Right now on Tuesday, only a moderate chance for freezing temperatures, so 32 or under. And while there is still a chance on Wednesday and Thursday, it is low, however, not impossible. And that kind of fades out as we head into the weekend. If we don't see a freeze by Saturday, we will be breaking once again another record this year. Our last record for the latest freeze was set back in November 2003 on November 23rd. So if we don't see that freeze by Saturday, we will be breaking another record for a later freeze. And by quite a few days, not expecting another freeze till possibly later next week, Wednesday, Thursday, there is a low chance for a freeze. So again, not impossible, but we'll still have to keep a lookout at those temperatures. Lows across the South Plains tonight in the 30s, mid-40s, Snyder 44, Turkey 42, Matador 45, Demet and Plainview 37 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, highs looking a lot like today, 60s, 50s, 70s across the area, Snyder 67, Turkey 65, Demet 60, Plainview 61, and sunny skies. Tonight here locally in Lubbock, low of 42. Tomorrow warming up to 66, a little bit breezy, average winds around 18 miles per hour. As we take a look at the rest of this week, Wednesday cooling down just a little bit with a high staying right under 60, high of 59. Again, that chance for a freeze. Tuesday evening, Thursday 68, lows in the upper 30s. Friday staying in the 60s with a high of 67 and then warming up a bit as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Highs in the 70s, Saturday high of 73, Sunday 75. Starting next week off, Monday highs in the upper 60s with a high of 67, lows in the lower to mid 40s. While it is a warm weekend, we are expecting a cool front to move in next week, which could impact temperatures for Thanksgiving. So we could see temperatures on Thanksgiving in the 50s for our highs and lows, possibly even freezing temperatures. I'm Elizabeth, and it's back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Yesterday's wet weather didn't have any effect on outdoor events for Texas Tech athletics. Football had the weekend off, and soccer finished up on Friday night.
But there were still some Texas Tech teams in action indoors over the last few days, hoping to put another mark in the win column. MCTV's Allie Scott has the latest scores and highlights from each of those Red Raider teams in sports. Allie?
Thank you, Madilyn and JT. Let's dive into Texas Tech sports. Starting off strong, the Red Raiders and Lady Raiders basketball teams are showing off their skills on the court, making it look like a promising end to non-conference play. At the same time, the soccer team is looking to finish the season on a high note after advancing in the NCAA tournament, and the Red Raider volleyball team had a bittersweet inning at home while honoring their seniors. The Texas Tech volleyball team was swept by the Iowa State Cyclones at home this Saturday while hosting senior night. The honored seniors included Elena Leon-Tarido, Maddie Carrera, Mia Wesley, Reagan Linen, Simone Overbeck, and Emily Merrick. While the team fell short, star players did not slow down. Bryn Williams led the match with 14 kills and a .347 hitting average. Seniors Mia Wesley and Emily Merrick were not far behind as they totaled 20 of the 37 digs of the night. Tech did go up 5-2 to start the final set, but the Cyclones steadily maintained a 4 to 5 point lead for the rest of the match, and their .448 hitting average ultimately gave them the win. The Red Raiders are off to Waco, Texas on Wednesday as they face off against the number 17 Baylor Bears at 7 p.m. The game will be streamed on ESPN+. Both the Red Raider and Lady Raider basketball teams showed off their skills this week on the court. They both took dominating wins that leave them undefeated. The men's basketball team took a 96-49 win over the Wyoming Cowboys. JT Toppin recorded 24 points and 12 rebounds, while Devin Cambridge reached the 1,000-point milestone. The Red Raiders are now 3-0 and have won 33 straight non-conference home games. Head coach Grant McCaslin said he's happy with the team's chemistry to start the season.
Our offense, man, when we're not loose, we've got a lot of guys that can score. And as long as we keep sharing the basketball, I mean, this team's so much fun to be around and fun to coach.
This was shown on the court as the Red Raiders had a 14-0 run in the first half and then a 46-20 lead at halftime. And with Chance McMillan being perfect from the three-point range and Darian Williams contributing 14 points, the Red Raiders had a dominating lead, giving them a huge win. The Red Raiders will face off against the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions today at the United Supermarkets Arena at 7 o'clock p.m. The Lady Raiders came out with a close win against the Washington State Cougars on Saturday as they won 56-52. The Lady Raiders forced an astounding 19 turnovers against the Cougars, and Jasmine Shavers led the Lady Raiders with 13 points, 9 of those being within the fourth quarter. Bailey Maupin had her fourth consecutive double-figure game, scoring 11 points with a 50% shooting average. However, as the third quarter ended, the Cougars made a layup and a three-pointer, giving themselves a 34-29 advantage, until Danae Fritz made a layup, taking the score to 34-31. When the fourth quarter began, the Cougars came out with a charge, gaining a 38-31 lead. Texas Tech called a timeout when Coach Krista Gerlich helped situate the team, giving them the motivation to go on a 9 consecutive point run. As the scoring continued to go back and forth, Maupin took control and gave the Lady Raiders the 56-52 win. The Lady Raiders are back at the United Supermarkets Arena tomorrow at 6 o'clock to face off against the Abilene Christian Wildcats. The Red Raiders soccer team is continuing their season as they came out with a huge win against the LSU Tigers to advance to the round of 32 in the NCAA championships. The Red Raiders came out with a 2-1 win on Friday at the John Walker Soccer Complex. Taylor Zrzewski had her team leading 10th goal of the season that came as a free kick service from Macy Blackburn. Zrzewski nearly scored a second goal in the first half, but ultimately hit a header onto the frame. But just 21 seconds into the second half, Millie Elwood, after receiving the ball from Blackburn, kicked it into the bottom right corner of the net, giving the Red Raiders a crucial 2-point lead over the Tigers. Goalkeeper Faith Nguyen was a crucial key in the game as she had 5 saves on goal, which included a pair of stops in the first and second half. This was the Red Raiders' 15th victory this season and marks the 7th time that they have reached this feat. The Red Raiders face off against the number 1 seed Duke this Friday in Durham, North Carolina at 5:30 Central Time. The game will also be available on ESPN+. That's all for Texas Tech Sports. Now back to JT.
Thanks, Allie. When you think of Red Raiders competition on a national level, the first thought that comes to mind is probably Texas Tech athletics. But there are other groups across campus who train throughout the school year for a chance to represent the red and black that don't require sporting gear. MCTV's Jackson Greener has the details on one Tech team that offers some unique opportunities for students beyond the athletic arena.
With so many different clubs on campus, it can be hard to pick which one to go to. But if you like games of skill, Vice President Nathaniel Moore thinks the Knight Raiders Chess Club might be for you.
So, Chess Club is free to anyone. Anyone can join. You can be a free rider, you can come in, we're always welcome.
With a casual atmosphere built for new and experienced players alike, people of all skill levels are able to have fun. But for those looking for something more, Club President Min Nguyen tells us the Knight Raiders do much more than just casual chess.
We also support students who go to tournaments. For example, every year we take a few Knight Raiders to go to the Pan Ams, which is a national chess tournament that holds like all the universities and colleges around the United States. And we'll pay for their airfare, their hotel fees to go there and compete for the Knight Raiders in the name of Texas Tech.
But for those who don't make the team, there are still other opportunities to play competitive chess.
So we also support students who go to local tournaments. For example, a local group here called Sphere, they hold tournaments every month. It's called the West Texas Open. So we will support Knight Raiders who go there by paying for their entry fees.
With so many advantages with the club, how does someone get involved?
The Chess Club, we have our own page on TechConnect. If you go to TechConnect, you can search up Knight Raiders, and once you've found it, there should be a little summary of the Chess Club. Just click on I want to join, and then I'll add you to the Knight Raiders email list.
With the tournament winners decided, I challenged Nate, the strongest player, to a game. And despite my best efforts, I lost horribly. But I had fun. And I think that's the most important part of any club. For MCTV, I'm Jackson Greener. Back to you.
Thanks, Jackson. So, JT, have you had a chance to check out the Texas Tech chess team?
I have not yet, but I'm willing to learn more about it. What about you?
I can't really say the same. Chess just isn't really my thing. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.